Hello there, my name is Rachel and I usually do just anime reviews of all type kinds, but today I'm going to do something different. Will be a conspiracy theory of Dr.Flug. Now, Dr.Flug is one of those characters on Villainous that he has the most information about this. He knows who he is, where he's come from, but one interesting thing is there's still a lot of questions of him you really don't know. For example, why he wears it back and whenever chooses to remove it. And also, every time you see a photo, you don't see a photo of him. You see his body, but his face is sort of covered up. And that's sort of weird things the show does to Dr.Flug. He's still sort of interesting with questions, but knowing enough information, understand who he is. I think one of the biggest questions is why he wears the bag. I think it's all relying on Andy, the creator of Villainous, that he was sort of inspired by his best friend in elementary, who is basically his model, and sort of over the years development to be Dr.Flug. Now, one of the theories of this is the fact the reason why he wears a bag, he was sort of bullied, tortured, and leaves scars in his face, so he wears a bag to sort of hide the scars, pretend they not exist, just wearing a bag. And that could be possible because how you read the character, how his emotions, anger, and how smart it is, and sort of does make sense why he wears a bag for that reason, but we get not yet confirmed, but not denied yet. We have to wait for the show finally releases itself, because the creator of Andy does say this reveal will be shown in the series, just takes a little time and the right moment. But besides that, there's some fan animations that they think what it looks like. He has a brunette and a blonde version with scars. There's just fan made. You could decide to this is it, this is not up to you. But there's another theory could be actually more interesting, that everybody thinks the reason why he's covered because he's a werewolf. Yes, a werewolf. The reason why this is a possibility is because there's a theory about the missing ancients who attempted to go in the Black Cat organization and fail. This image, this photo, is a group of 5 members, and one of the members looked like a werewolf. And the interesting enough is, you understand Andy, and the voice actor who plays Dr.Flug is Andy, the creator, has sort of a session of wolves, and the top of it is his writing skills, how he writes his characters, especially knowing the voice actors, their talents and their strengths and their weaknesses to create a better character of them, to help them perform the best. And one of the things is Andy and the voice actor and the Mexican voice actor of Dr.Flug likes werewolves. They talk about a lot, so it sort of makes sense if one of the characters look like a werewolf. It makes sense Dr.Flug hides himself because he's sort of semi-transformed, because if you don't know anything about werewolf lore, there are about 12 or 13 versions of a werewolf, yet each one transformation completely different from the other and a different breed. So yeah, so basically you've seen the photo of the missing ancients. One of them do have fangs, a little fur. He does look like a werewolf, something like that. But at the same time, explains why he wears a bag. If this photo is him, it makes sense why he wears a bag. But at the same time, that could be something just completely random. We don't know. That's why I call it a conspiracy theory. Now, there's another theory with the missing ancients that could hold water. It's basically Dr.Flug, that he is a double ancient. He was in the organization and let himself inside the organization of Black Hat organization, and suddenly wears his badge to cover up who he really is, so Black Hat doesn't really notice. So loud Dr.Flug works inside the organization and gather information how to take down Black Hat. That could be possible, but at the same time, Dr.Flug was a double ancient. Maybe he did portray the others, so he hides his face and his shame what he did to his friends and his co-workers, portraying them for true power. But all of that's sort of a theory, but there are other ones that could be more interesting, because there are actually, believe it or not, 2 origins with Dr.Flug. Both of them are sort of official, unofficial. One of them is sort of a kind of short explaining what is Black Hat organization and how you go in. And Dr. Flug is the host explaining that. And that sort of explanation, all that short, he explained he was working with Dr. Flug for 20 years. He always been evil. That could be possible, but the only problem is there's the second origin. In the second origin, it sort of contradicts the first one. That basically, Dr. Flug was in school training to be an evil scientist, but he was sort of kicked out because he could not finish his final exam because someone stole his project that was Miss Seats. So it doesn't make sense. He was working in the organization for 20 years, but he never actually graduated. So that sort of contradicted the other one because Dr. Flug, he was like about his early 20s or early 30s. It doesn't make sense he actually been inside the organization 20. If he was, he'd probably be 20 years old. So yeah, it's sort of contradictory. How you be inside in the organization but you were sort of kicked out. And in the original Orange Storm, there is a lot of gaps before he got kicked out from school in how he met his true master and his true calling, because that's also a hint that he really didn't know what he wanted in first. So yeah, you see what I mean? The both two origins sort of kind of contradict each other. You don't know which is which, but once more, we don't know. Maybe the first origin is just sort of a joke, or the second origin is the real one, or both of them could be fake, made up, and the creator and they decide to remake this origin completely different. We don't know. This is the reason why they call it conspiracy theory. But there's another one that is, I think, is the best interesting one. That basically the missing angel you see the photo is the original family or Dr. Flug. The one you see he working on the first pilot and you see the photo rip off their faces. That photo, a famous photo behind him, yeah, it basically his family who were the special heroes who was chosen to go inside the organization. And the reason why he decided to go in the organization Black Hat is because portraying his family, because he feel he was not one of them. He's sort of like a rebellious stage. He decided to step him off and become true evil. This is the reason why he joined Black Hat. He also explains why he wears a bag, because he doesn't want to realize the thing he did, the shame he portrayed his own family. That makes a ton of sense why he wears the bag. Now, there's another one that is super interesting, super possible. It's probably the second most possible answer, that he has the illness Phenomena. That name sounds familiar. That's the character you see the first pilot who asked for help from Black Cat. The reason why the name after this curse of her is because she's the one who sort of accidentally give this sort of illness to people for her when her experiment went fail. That's why she has sort of that kind of pale look. She's sort of like a vampire, but not really. That the people think what maybe Dr. Flug has. That's why he is sort of covered up his face, his hands, everything you just barely see. He also had that sort of same color than Phenomena, so it sort of makes sense. But at the same time, it could be something else. We don't know. But there's one that is basically the definition why he wears the bag, because Annie, the creator, did explain why he wears the bag. Is that he was sort of cursed by Black Cat to wear the bag. So yeah, that's the reason why he has the bag. In fact, he's the only one who can get rid of the bag is Black Cat himself. But the only problem is, as another question, that why Black Cat force Dr. Flug wear a bag, and Andy the creator never answered that. He only says you just need to watch the series, and that's it. That bastard is a teaser. He doesn't want us to know. But besides that, it's a smart choice to make people watch the series to figure out finally why he wears the bag. But it's another theory that is my theory. He maybe partly brainwashed Dr. Flug. If he was the original crew, the original agents who actually were missing, it was one of them, and you actually realize, oh, this guy is very talented. let me use him. Let me brainwash his own mind and wear the bag so his brainwashing is sort of effective. That's why he wears the bag. And the fact the reason why he cannot rid of the bag is that it shows you in one of the episodes that he rips it off and a new bag is there, because the bag is sort of infinity multiple there that you keep ripping it off more repaired. Yeah, that's the reason why he cannot get rid of the bag, because he can't rip it off. But once more, let's still leave that question, like why Black Cat forced him. That could be the answer, that could not be an answer, or just Black Cat is just a dick and he just wants to torture this man even more. We don't know. But at the same time, it does leave multiple questions that hopefully it will answer. But to me, I don't need an answer, because I'm okay not giving to me, because Dr.Flug, that's what makes him so unique as a character, that giving an answer probably will not satisfy me. That's me, just me. I don't know, if you really want to try an answer to ruin a great character, hopefully the answer could be a great one. Well, I got nothing else to say, just one question. Do you like these theories? Do you think none of them work, some does work, or you have your own theories? Comment down below, let me know. I really got nothing else to say, just thank you for watching, don't forget to subscribe, and have a wonderful day. Bye.